sometimes amuses me to think about what goes on here, right under the United Colony's collective nose.
How is Neon? Are you okay? Wait, what happened? Who was after you?
Take a look at the ship's sensor data. I think everybody needs to see this.
All right, I'll start transferring the data over now. Let me just bring it up on here at the table. Is that a prototype? No, that material isn't anything we... What the... Everyone, come take a look at this.
That's no faction vessel or Crimson Fleet. Secret military tech, maybe?
No United Colonies Admiral approved that starship design.
They call themselves the Starborn. Demanded we hand over the artifact. Like we were children, playing with their parents' things.
What do people know? Any offshoot groups go by that name?
None in any corner of the settled systems I've seen. Maybe a distant human colony finally popping its head up? Another house for Rune?
I very much doubt that.
We ignoring the obvious here? A heretofore unknown group who just happens to know about the artifacts. I'm just gonna say it. Intelligent alien life, or extra-dimensional beings. The original creators from the furthest fringes of space.
Or beyond even that. Is the metaphor of avenging angels coming down to keep humanity from forbidden knowledge not apt here?
So, we have a lot of theories, but nothing concrete. Except that they're after the artifacts, and they're willing to take them by force.
No settled systems lab made these things, and I doubt one of them made that ship either.
So, we got some weird extra-dimensional beings that coincidentally decide to build their spacefaring vessels exactly like we do. Not so sure about that.
Some glints of shine in the dark. Ready to hand them out as soon as you please.
Yes? Yes, of course. Until next time.
I received a message from my mother a few days ago. Oh, that's right. I haven't really spoken about her to you, have I? My mother lives in a fairly remote location, so we rarely speak. Tends to keep her out of my mind. I'm sorry if I've dredged up painful memories. To be honest, I envy some of the freedom you experienced. Living on your own. No parents trying to control your life. Oh, I'm certain they felt they were doing the right thing. You see, both of my parents were diplomats working under the flag of the UC Administrative Division. After I completed my basic education, they signed me up for a one-year apprenticeship in their department, without bothering to ask. Take care of yourself.
think he may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
There's something I'd like to discuss.
Hey, when you're not busy, let's chat.
I may regret this, but there's something I'd like to ask you about.
You're handling this whole captain thing really well, you know. Hey, so I'm really enjoying our time together. Thought you should know. It's been a long time since I worked with someone so closely. I didn't realize how much I missed it. And you haven't stopped me from looking into this stuff with Irvin either. So, thank you. See, that's what makes you a good captain in my book. You're supportive. On that note, I do have some news about Irvin's case. So, I wanted to let you know that I heard back from my contact, and I think you'll want to hear this. They sent me a copy of some public records. It's interesting. There was a claim filed against Irvin, accusing him of damaging their investments. Looks like Irvin didn't even enter a plea. Some of Irvin's paychecks were seized, as well as any assets that weren't under joint ownership. The Hephaestus Mining Corporation, and they also won the case. Well, if it was Irvin, I do want to understand that, because I just can't believe it. Anyway, this mining corporation, Hephaestus, sued Irvin, claiming he irreparably damaged their mine. They said he killed the apex predators in the area around the mine, which led to herd creatures overeating the grasses. That caused the soils to release too many gases too fast, which cost Hephaestus a ton of money. It looks like they considered him a no-show and ruled against him. So anyway, according to the court documents, there was a witness for the defense, who was a no-show too. Then Hephaestus won by default. They tried to take his apartment, but because it's in my name too, they couldn't. They withdrew their testimony the morning of the trial. Said they had a sincere change of heart. Yes, they plan to stay in the same system for a while. I didn't know he bought it. Must have been a better deal than renting for the time he was there. That doesn't mean we can't do anything about it. And if nothing else, I just want to know more about what happened to Irvin. So here's what I was thinking. I can persuade my contact to keep digging a little bit more. I don't want to press our luck, so I'll just ask them to follow up on one thing. Should I tell them to investigate the company more, or look into the witness instead? I wonder what his real reason was for retracting his testimony. Did he report anything to security? I just want to know why they picked Irvin. Why did they set him up? For that much money? They'll do it. You know, this investigation is time-consuming, but it's also pretty cathartic. And who knows? Maybe if we solve this case, it'll mean a better future for Gagarin. But that's thinking too far ahead. Anyway, Captain, thanks for checking in with me.
I know everyone's excited by the artifacts, but we need to be as objective as possible and be aware of
Captain, you have returned. A cursory scan indicates that you are in good health.
Hey there. Glad to see you again.
Feel free to help yourself at the bar. I don't drink, but there's certainly precedent, isn't there? We've been operating for a while now on the fringes of what humans, know and understand. Why rule anything out? I just think we should be open-minded, keep everything on the table. You could argue we've been veering into the supernatural for a while now. You yourself have powers that seem to defy logical explanation. It's the argument I have with Walter every other week. Science and reason have their place, but so does faith. We have all of them at our disposal, and I don't for 1 second believe they're mutually exclusive. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, the way you handle things, not bad. Man, the galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place. Yeah, I was done too.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind if you answered them.
I also wish to be prepared for any situation, but there are practical limits, no?
If you want to talk, make it quick. I think I'm late for Noelle's science lesson. What's up? I don't know if I'll ever get used to being around all these people. Everyone hurrying around, talking, eating, drinking, doing a million things. It's so weird, but kind of exciting at the same time, you know? Going from a planet with a population of 3 to this one is going to take a lot of patience and trust, that's for sure. Well, there's no other people my age here at the lodge, so it's going to be kind of tough. Actually, Noelle is pretty nice. She said she'd teach me some stuff about science. You know, pick up where my mom left off. Besides that, I don't really care if I make friends or not. You and Sarah are the only friends I'll ever really need. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine.
Sure, I've got a minute.
Curious feeling, knowing that you've seen something that no one else has. That lately, I find myself spending more and more time here. Business has appealed to me, but this is exciting. Not my first time in a hostile negotiation, as you well know. Admittedly, I usually know more about who I'm facing off against. I'm very interested in what Noelle can learn from the scans. The technology on that ship was impressive, to say the least. If there's a chance, we could learn enough to duplicate some of it. That's certainly true. And it also wouldn't hurt to give Stroud Eklund an advantage in the marketplace. Oh, right. I was afraid you were going to bring that up again. Very well. Let's see if I embarrass myself or not. My colleagues, I venture out into the darkness of space once again. Many of you have expressed concern. At my age, you say, surely the risks are too great. Surely Sebastian Banks has earned a rest. Nonsense, I say. To go out into the unknown, to brave the possibility of never coming back, to ignite the spark of hope that humanity will find answers out there in the stars, that is all I have ever wanted. If this last expedition is my time, then I say, I have been fortunate. I have been fortunate to leave, surrounded by people who could not be more different from one another, but who share a common purpose. That, dare I say, I am fortunate my soul has a home it can always come back to. And that was the last thing Sebastian Banks ever said in the lodge before he disappeared. And Constellation has been waiting for him to come home ever since. Despite our differences of opinion back on Neon, I'm beginning to respect you as someone who can get the job done. There's no fooling you. Don't worry, this is a much lower stake opportunity. My Star Yard's been having a little trouble getting our next project off the ground. I need someone capable and decisive to step in and steer it in the right direction. Interested? As you know, I'm a busy man, running a company, helping to manage Constellation's financial needs. It doesn't leave me with much time to get into the weeds with every little business venture that comes my way. Besides, think of this as a rare opportunity to help shape the future of a major consumer brand. Of course, now that I know you're interested. It's a new ship. We want to diversify our fleet. Now, I don't know why the people I pay very handsomely to come up with new designs can't seem to get out of the R&D phase. And frankly, I don't care. I just want someone, you, to go there and show them how it's done. To be honest, I prefer it. I have professional designers, and obviously they can't do the job. They're floundering. And as I've seen firsthand, you dabble in all spectrums. Blue-collar work, exploration, fighting. I could go on. What better person to tell those overpaid muckety-mucks how to build a ship for the discerning consumer? Excellent. I'll send word ahead to the project lead, Jules Degante, that you're taking point. They'll all be instructed to listen to you and follow your direction. I expect big things from you, so I'm excited to see what you manage to deliver. I don't believe you'll let me down.
If you are free soon, could we talk? Yes?
Hello, Captain.
I'm expecting big things from you with this ship project. Don't let me down.
Lay it on me.
At this point, I don't care what you have to do to get that project back on track. Within reason.
We've always considered ourselves explorers, but this really is uncharted. You mean what could be the biggest discovery in the history of humanity? Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Scans are still inconclusive, but I think we've seen enough to know that we're dealing with something potentially even more unusual than the artifacts. There are so many questions beyond just who are they? How did they find you? How do they know about the artifacts? Why has no one ever seen them before?
Have you seen the thing?
No, I guess not. But this takes things in a whole different direction. They threatened you. It was one thing when this was just about us investigating the artifacts. A weird phenomenon that didn't come with creepy threats or questions about aliens or whatever it is that's going on now. I know we'll figure it all out in the end. It's just kind of a lot right now.
No. But I have good intentions. That should be enough.
Stay safe,
right?
okay?
All right. I will find and bring you an array of devices that may or may not serve your purpose. Sound good?
My friend, I sent you a wonderful discussion.
I don't know about you, but a fella could do a lot worse in Constellation.
Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions.
Seekers prefer the mathematical union always. I prefer the intersection.
Yes, by any meaning of the word. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone.
I understand why you say that, but I think it's my own fault for not explaining better.
All right, Mateo. We'll have to pick this up another time.
If so, what would that be? Clearly, these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand. You are right. And it would seem that if we do, we may well cross paths with these Starborn again. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There's still so much to do.
Is something amiss? Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
Hey, good to see you.
Never regretted coming out of retirement. Constellation's got the writ of the righteous. Keeps me young. You had a hell of a shake, getting bullied in the void. Starborn sure know how to make an entrance. Ready to head back out there? The Eye can help you find the artifacts, but I'm afraid she's blind to our new competitor. No telling the exact number, but they're getting harder to find. Got some equipment, repairs, and upgrades on the making-do list. The Eye's straining to her limits these days. Double-check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you.
It's been quieter around here ever since Vladimir went to live on the Eye full time.
I received a message. Ah, that's right. My mother lives... I'm sorry if I've dredged up. To be honest... Oh, I'm certain. You see, both of them, after I... Look, I was 18 years old, fresh out of school, and I idolized my parents. I trusted them. I'm certain they felt they were doing what was best for their daughter. Who was I to argue? Wanted isn't the right word. Demanded would be more appropriate. For my apprenticeship, I was sent to Sidonia. My job consisted of drafting political policies and arbitrating trade disputes. The silver lining of the job was that it allowed me to spend time exploring every square inch of Mars. I was swallowed by it. Months before the apprenticeship ended, I dumped my diplomatic certification and joined the UC Navy. Of course, my parents didn't approve. We had a huge argument that resulted in all ties being severed between us. Well, that wasn't the worst of it. You see, my father was killed during the opening shots of the Colony War. I returned to Jemison for the funeral and reunited with my mother. After that, we vowed to stay in touch. Oh, aren't you sweet? Always concerned with how I'm feeling. That's why I fell in love with you. Your smile, your caring. It brightens even my darkest days. Listen, I'm going to be completely upfront with you. All this talk of family, it makes me wonder where our own relationship stands. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I regret the family life I left behind when I took off for the stars. If there was ever a chance for something like that between us, I wouldn't want to miss the opportunity. I love you too much to allow that to happen. That's why I asked about our future and where we stand. I have something I need to discuss with you.
Ever since I got here, this has felt like home. As much as I love... See you later. I know everyone's excited by... Great, let's see what you... Stay safe, okay?
Did you need something? Is that it then?
Are we at all surprised that the UC has such a massive space dedicated to secrets?
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
Very well, I will wait. You go on.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am? No, I suppose not. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes, but the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here. A sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies. To warrant my execution, The official charges I faced after the war were twofold. The first was the destruction of civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne, a battle during which those civilian ships were actively attacking my fleet. The other was ordering the bombing of the Londinian spaceport to halt the spread of the Terramorph outbreak there. The city and its citizens were lost, but countless others likely saved. And for doing what was right, I was put on trial. And my life irrevocably changed. One final act of rebellion by the leadership that lost the colony war. The trial was authentic. I faced tribunal with dignity, but my execution, staged. A lethal injection that was anything but. The cabinet at the time, long gone now, wished to keep me on as an advisor, and considering the other option, I was in no place to refuse. So I elected to trade my freedom for my continued existence. But such is the life of a soldier. Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family? Did she? So willing to trust Hadrian. I never did succeed in driving that out of her. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the colony war. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with. Well, who better to find them? But many of them I knew personally, and I've always had a mind for details. Where someone was born, next of kin. You'd be shocked how often an otherwise brilliant criminal flees to the planet just next to the one where they were born, or where a family member resides. I simply use my own personal knowledge and the information our group collects for me to track them down and set things right. Gladly. There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know. Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this Might be something of a tryout. Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat. You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it. Good. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria. Wolf system. There's a star station in the vicinity. The Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man. Bring me something authentic. I need to know the doctor has been dealt with. It's a phrase, actually. In one of Earth's dead tongues. Woe to the defeated. I acquired it during my school years, after defeating an older cadet so badly that it led to his dismissal from the program. Since then, it's been hurled at me by critics who didn't like the methods by which I achieved victory. But I can't say I don't like it. Stood as a reminder, I wasn't a man to be trifled with. I was told the process was decidedly complex. While we come from the same clay, the kiln and the sculptor had much to say in who Hadrian became. For the better. We are, after all, so much more than our legacies, genetic or otherwise.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
Ah, hello. I will watch your back.
Yes? What?
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy. Captain, please, keep your voice down. The situation with the prisoner is a complex one. A holdover from a different era. But it's a situation we've been managing as discreetly and humanely as we can for some time now. And the most critical part of that management is making sure no one else learns of it. Do I make myself clear? The Major doesn't have clearance for this sort of information, and she certainly doesn't need a distraction from her current, very important work. Which is why I need you to keep this to yourself. No, they really shouldn't. And bringing up what you've learned outside this building will make you, Captain, look like a crazy person. I don't want that, and you certainly don't want that. So you need to keep this to yourself. Now, was there something in particular you wanted to discuss about your meeting? We're not big on extrajudicial killings. But bringing Orlace to justice? That man's been on the run for a long time. Catching him would be a major success for the UC. What's being offered in return? Allowing you to kill someone on behalf of the prisoner? Absolutely not. But taking the chance to bring a known criminal to justice? Well, the old man's been right more than a few times in the past. So, what's being put on the table here? Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake, but I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch. So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed. The Den? It's a star station, orbiting Wolf, the second star station actually to bear that title. The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the Serpent's Crusade. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for repairing and refueling UC military vessels. But because of its distance from the rest of the UC, things there have always been a little more lax. Patrols included. I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal to hide out. Then I'll bid you good day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
I have a feeling today's going to be a great day. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Like I said before. Really? That's nice. I have to keep my energy. Here, take this. I found it. Well, thanks again. I really appreciate it. I can't complain. My boss told me yesterday that I'm one of the best janitors she's ever hired. Take care of yourself.
Your abilities are truly amazing.
You should inspect. Your ship for heat leeches every couple landings. They'll cost plenty to have it.
Pardon me. Was that your stomach or mine? I have to talk about the Starborn. Do you have a second? You do, right? I already evaluated us for hallucinations or other types of chemical filters, and I found nothing. It could be the dawn of a new era of humanity. Or it could be an elaborate prank or any number of mundane explanations. Well, they were definitely unusual, but aliens seem so inhuman, obviously. I just have so many questions. We just need more data. There has to be a way to draw them out and figure out where they're coming from. Well, we don't know why they wanted the artifact. They could have agreeable intentions. This could be a turning point for humanity, you know? Or it could be just the emergence of a powerful new faction, or some sort of elite military tech, or a gazillionaire with nothing else to do. All we know is that they wanted that artifact badly. Yeah, that's how they appear right now. Maybe we can use that to our advantage, though. And who knows? Maybe we'll never see them again. I know now isn't the best time, but I need to talk with you later. Yes? Oh, right.
A lot on your mind? I received a message from my mother. We should get a drink sometime.
Hello. Back to it then.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
The station is but a shadow of its former purpose. I do not like it here.
What? Oh, sorry. Just the terrible attack.
Looking to lodge a complaint? Then you want UC security, not the Vanguard. Oh, apologies, Captain. Didn't recognize you without the uniform. So, what can I do for you? Think you got some bad information. If there was a wanted man in our skies, he wouldn't still be out there. Unless... Are you talking about the Warlock? There's been rumor of a ship out there for years now. Doesn't respond to hails, never docks. More than a few amateur investigators have tried to find it, and at least 2 never came back. Aetherius debris fields are plenty dangerous if you're not used to flying in them. But if you're suggesting it might not have been the fields that got them, well, I can give you the coordinates of the Warlock's last sighting. Things you should know? The den's not really that kind of place. This is a quiet assignment. Keep an eye out for pirates, make sure smuggling's kept to a minimum, occasional rescue job out in the debris fields. Otherwise, it's mostly long haulers and staying ready for the day the Collective wants another round, or House Faroon comes back in force. I mean, I honestly thought it was just a story bored haulers told to amuse each other. But if the pilot of the Warlock really has been dusting our people, well, hopefully you're about to make our skies a whole lot safer. Sure thing. Here, this should get you pointed in the right direction. Good hunting, and stay safe.
I really did think this place would see a bit more. If you're ever in Newark, goodbye then.
Been up there, huh? Space?
One day from the next anymore.
We should be grateful for the sacrifices made by our military, not embarrassed by him. Oh, he was a brilliant man. Just brilliant. Best leader we could have asked for in a crisis. He made the tough decisions, and when it was over, well, not all of it. Ve Victis. Long live the UC!
Ships separated. Engaging drive.
Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets.
everything in the galaxy needs to come with us, you know.
All green on release. We're free to fly. All right, let's cycle that airlock and get aboard.
This station is but a shadow of its former purpose. I do not like it here.
Good to see you. Certainly.
can I do for you?
We're free and clear for flight.
Authorized personnel only. Fred has to stay here.
Welcome back, Captain. Do you have some news for me regarding Dr. Olays? So he didn't come quietly then, as I suspected. I presume you have evidence of this. I'd say it'd be a waste of your and Hadrian's time to have to track down the research team on your own. Surely you found something. Excellent. Please, deposit it in the transfer system.
Transfer accepted.
Would you look at that? Kept it all these years. Some simply couldn't let go of that old world. This is fine work, Captain. I can ensure the remaining team members find their way to the Red Devil's headquarters. Except for one. That one you'll need to collect yourself. His name is Kaiser. You can find him on the Freestar world of Nira, wandering the battlefield there. The area was ground zero for xeno-weapon deployments during the war, so I would arm yourself appropriately. And I think you'll want to check in with Hadrian and Dr. Walker before paying it a visit. Kaiser will likely have security protocols you'll need their help to overcome. A military Model A, yes. Specifically customized for the needs of the Xeno warfare team during the Colony War. A powerful resource, if you can recover him. You're saving the galaxy, Captain. What tool wouldn't you use to protect it?
Authorized personnel only.
You have my attention. Yes, good. Let's go.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay here.
What did you need? That is all? Very well. Always a satisfying moment.
Need some work done?
Yes? I'm cleared to be here.
If you see a violation, it's your duty to say something.
Captain, welcome back. Was afraid you might have gotten reassigned. You've been gone so long. So how's it feel to be a citizen? To each their own. Still remember my ceremony. 19 years old, standing on the front deck of Mast, looking over the city. One of the proudest days of my life. But it is real good to have you here again. We've been going through the Terramorph data and, well, we're gonna need all the help we can get. These logs, they're even more thorough than I remembered. Genetic workups, population statistics, hell, even their food chain. I'd completely forgotten, for example, that there was a creature that actually ate Terramorphs. At this point, the data's given us more options to explore than we have people to work on them. Well, 8. They went extinct a few decades back. A big lumbering thing called an Aceles. Something I'd love to learn more about, if we had the people to look into it. That'd be something, wouldn't... I'm sorry, are you? You're serious? You found our research team? That's incredible. That accelerates everything. With them back, it'll let us... Wait. Kaiser. Did you find Kaiser? Well, Kaiser's one of a kind. Special built for the sort of work we did. Dealing with unfriendly beasts in hostile environments.
no other robot in the galaxy like him. So did you really manage to track him down? That's right. You would need that. Whoever gave you these leads sure knew their stuff. Oh, how? How exactly did you manage to find them? That's not funny. Seriously, how'd you find them? No. That's insane. He died. They executed him. They faked his death? My entire unit, they threw us all to the wolves, but kept him? And now he's what? An advisor? Commanding the fleet in secret? What was so important that they had to keep him alive? That's really not funny. I guess it makes sense though, doesn't it? The UC of that era only created me because they were afraid of a world without Ve Victus in command. Why would they get rid of him? As long as I live, I'll never understand the loyalty that old bastard elicited. You've got nothing to apologize for. Because the UC, they did a lot of terrible things for that man. But even knowing they did, knowing that they kept him alive all this time, you know what I feel right now? It's hope. I had no one when I was outside the UC. No Red Devils, no family. But that old world, where I was no one and my father mattered, that's gone. Thanks to what you and I have done, I have a place again. A purpose. But it's finally one I can be proud of. You and I, we're getting to change what the UC stands for. So I don't care if Ve Victus is alive or dead. He can rot for all I care. We're the ones who are making the settled systems and the UC better. No, but I am willing to try and make them a place we can be proud of. The UC that kept my father alive, that threw me out, those people aren't in charge anymore. And the ones that are, well, they're giving us a chance. It's up to us to do something with it. I refuse to let that man define my entire life. Not anymore. Because there's nothing we can do about past choices. What we can do is try and make the right ones now. So, let's get back to the business at hand. Now, my father just handing over the information on the research team and Kaiser out of the clear blue, I can't say I trust it. But if he has something to gain from helping us prevent terramorph attacks, I'm not seeing it. So while you'll absolutely want to be cautious, what would you think about trying to bring back Kaiser? I'm honestly not sure what his endgame might be. Involving himself in preventing terramorph attacks after all the damage he's done? Something doesn't add up. But he clearly understands how valuable it'd be to have Kaiser involved in this endeavor. So, I still think it'd be worth looking into. If you're willing. I think it's the right call. But if Kaiser has been out wandering on his own for all this time, you're gonna need a couple things. know it's here somewhere. Uh-huh. Here, Kaiser schematics. Actuators, weapons, batteries. That old robot's been MIA for a while, so chances are he's gonna need some repairs. He's also got a lock on his voice controls. You can give yourself authorization with the phrase, Nos belli machinis. Now, where exactly is the old machine? Oh, it's really not that daunting. So long as he's on a planet with some modicum of civilization, you should be able to cobble together most of what he might need. He is on a planet like that, right? Oh my god, are you talking about Nero? No wonder no one's found him. Xenoweapons are just the tip of the iceberg in that place. The environment's devastated, there's little, if any, real law. Nero's got more than enough ways to make any visit your last. But I think there's a place where you can start your search. Yep. One-of-a-kind salvage. Licensed to an Angelo Alonso. Goes by Gel. As good a place to start as any. Kaiser lets us do field work with a level of precision that there's really no other way to accomplish. More than a few of the options we're looking into. Detectors to uncover the terramorph transmission method, or crafting a targeted biological agent. They require highly specific materials to test against. And asking a group of Marines to accompany us for that kind of work, well, it usually ended up with ruined samples and wounded teammates. The Colony War saw a lot of hard fighting, but Nera got it the worst. Everything the Freestar Collective and UC could muster, ground troops, xenoweapons, mechs, was hurled into the fray. Both sides hoped something would decisively turn the tide, but it never did. When the war finally ended, swaths of that world were so devastated they were effectively abandoned. So what Kaiser's doing there of all places, I can only guess at. And I'll make sure we're ready to put him to use as soon as you got him.
What is it?
Weapons free. Open fire.
Target sitting there with no grav drive now.
Landing initiated. Watch your flaring.
It is impossible to imagine what this looked like before the Colony War. What a waste. Customer, supplier, merc, regardless, you want jail. You looking for advice on heading out into the fields? Jail's happy to oblige.
Hey! New model on the floor. Welcome to the one-of-a-kind. Refuge and rest home for the hardest scrappers anywhere. Name's Jill. Proprietor. So formal. The pleasure's all mine, my good man. Angelo Alonso, at your service. You can call me Jill. Can I get you started on a tab, then? Or you here to try and make your fortune in the fields? I'm happy to take your credits however you want to hike them over. Kaiser? No bot around here with that tag. Oh, unless you mean Captain Ahab? At least, that's what we've all been calling him. No clue what his actual designation is, since he's got some sort of security protocol that prevents inquiries and general chit-chat. But he's a combat bot, right? Yeah, that machine's been out there a while now, hunting this one siren. His white whale. But it's been a while since anyone's laid eyes on Captain Ahab, though. Maybe he finally got the thing. Or it got him. Nasty kind of alien left behind after the Colony War. Pretty much blind. Original ones brought to Nera were all xeno-weapons. But those critters have long since passed. But they left behind more than enough untrained babies to keep the fields plenty interesting. Well, all right. So, sounds like you've got two options. You can wander around out there, hunting your bot, little old white whale of your very own. Maybe you find him, maybe you get yourself killed. But knowing this rock is part of what we do here. So if you want to find him a whole lot faster, I'll sell you what I know about this. Kaiser's location. Going rate's a little steep, but I'm willing to negotiate. Finest supplies on the planet. Also, oh, change your mind? I'm listening. I do understand. I'm trying to figure out a way to help you, okay? Don't think I'm desperate or anything, but you do have a point. Okay. You made your point. I'll give you a discount. Pleasure doing business with you. So, last anyone heard of him, he was out near the Syracuse, shipwreck about a quarter click down the main strip. One of my roughnecks said he heard some kind of beacon. Just keep your ears open. You should find your machine. Eyes open too. Sirens and Ecliptic out there, and neither takes prisoners. Oh, and corpse retrieval is not included in this transaction, so now you know. Give Ahab a Kaiser our best.
It's good that something of value can come from those old mechs.
Wherever you store that, the smell will not be an issue.
controls. Unlocked. Attempting to resume. Attempting to. Error. Power. Level. Insufficient. Battery required. Type. Microcell. Inquire at salvage yard.
One never knows what might be found in salvage yards. Now would be a good time to reprioritize what we bring with us and what we leave. Yes, you need me? If I can take a few things. Very good. What is it that is said about one man's junk? There is so much junk. It is difficult to recall how that goes.
In need of materials? Or just here to have a drink and enjoy the views? Ah, so that's where your machine's been. Ran out of juice. Heat leeches, wasn't it? Those little stowaways are everywhere on this rock. Suck the power out of a pen light if you let them. But a microcell, that's military-grade tech. I think we might have one, but I can promise you, it's not going to be cheap. You could probably Frankenstein one together using our fabrication system here, but only if you had some quality schematics. So, I just brace for a little sticker shock. Wouldn't have lasted real long here, doing what we do without a top-notch fabrication system. So long as you've got the specs, it should be able to handle making you a microcell. But finding materials up to the task, you're likely going to be sifting through quite a few mech hulks out there to find what you need. Though, if you think you can actually manage something like that, I'm willing to make you a deal. I'll point you towards the juiciest harvest sites. Spots where you should be able to find quality parts. But in return, any excess materials you collect, you sell to me, all right? Save us from risking our necks on another run out there. What do you say? I can't give you a guarantee, but a couple of mech types use microcells to power non-critical systems, running lights, radar, that sort of stuff. All the intact microcells will be long gone, too valuable, but the parts to make one, much better chance those are still lying around. So what do you say? Sell me what you don't need, and I'll tell you where to look. What can I do for you? All legal.
Battery accepted. Operational power levels restored. Analyzing. Residual damage detected. Impact shielding. Visual systems. Damage within acceptable limits. Thank you for your aid. I must resume my mission. Please step aside. Major Sanon will have to wait. I cannot leave my mission. Although previous attempts to disarm the weapon have been unsuccessful, additional support may allow me to complete my active mission more quickly, allowing me to leave this place. Request denied. My current mission requires completion. Will you provide support? Excellent. We must disarm Unit XW-99. Designation Siren. Nearest final xenoweapon. Are you ready to proceed to the mission site? Correct. Unit 99 is a Siren, a deadly biological specimen deployed to Nera during the Colony War, engineered for combat efficiency. Execution of said specimens is the standard method of xenoweapon disarmament. weapons have a control interface, which allows them to be given orders. If Unit 99 were to be subdued, I could wipe its interface. This would prevent Unit 99 from ever being used as a weapon again. That would be technically sufficient for the parameters of my mission. However, it is my personal assessment that Nero would be better off with Unit 99 terminated. During the Colony War, handling of Unit 99 and its peers were among my personal duties. Deploy Unit 99. Defend Unit 99 against hostile forces. But above all, ensure Unit 99 was never used against non-combatants. When I was separated from the Xeno-warfare team with the Armistice, Unit 99 and its broodmates remained here, causing many non-combatant deaths. So I am here to correct my mistake. I have nearly succeeded in disarming their brood. Only Unit 99 remains. Follow me.
Is that for selling later or personal use?
Detecting Unit 99. But there is a complication. Unit 99 is on the other side of that ridge, but it appears to be under the control of hostile forces. Sensors suggest Ecliptic, a mercenary company like Ecliptic, would only want Unit 99 to utilize it as a weapon. This means Unit 99 must be disarmed immediately. Standard procedure would be a frontal assault on the outpost. No quarter given. Do you concur?
Simple and straightforward. A good choice.
Moving out.
I have things I wish to discuss with you. When you have time.
Search protocols triggered. Beginning scan.
Release the weapon.
Drop every single one of them! Best not to leave anything useful behind.
Integrity compromised. here is finished. Now, what is this mission you spoke of? Major Sanan is involved? That. That is a cause I would like to be a part of. You are docked at one of a kind. I will meet you there.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
Can we speak for a moment? Yes?
Happy to listen.
I have something I wanted to say. But I confess I am afraid of how you will react. Right. I have something I wanted to say. But I confess I am afraid of how you will react. I am reluctant to put that to the test. But it is necessary that we are honest with each other. I know that you said you prefer to be surrounded by others. Unlike me. But Constellation means something to us both. And I must be honest about why. The little I have spoken of my history has been nothing but truth. I worked with smugglers. I have caused my share of pain and suffering. What I have left out, until now, is that all of that was done on behalf of House Varun. My people. My family. They have retreated from open relations with the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective, but they still exist. I was born in the great city of Dazra, and raised with the teachings of Jinan Varun. I underwent the rite of Krejar when I came of age. I am of the promised, those who know the truth of the Great Serpent and his inevitable return. Your ability to find the humor in a situation is remarkable. No, I will not kill you for knowing, but you must understand that this is privileged information. Several years ago, I intercepted requests from Constellation to access Varun's space, speaking only of exploration. I was sent to infiltrate Constellation, posing as a former smuggler looking for a new purpose in life. That was the intent, yes. But the reality is more complicated. Several weeks after I arrived, I attempted to access secure records within Constellation's archives. Vladimir and Sarah were waiting for me. Quite an understatement. I was horrified. My failure would be reported to the High Council, and the penalty would be severe. The history of Constellation, where expeditions are sent, data on star systems House Varun has not explored, some information on their members and goals. As you have seen, there is relatively little that would be considered classified. They do not. I have, for now, kept that information to myself. You and I have spent so much time together. It has been increasingly difficult to keep this from you. And I am sorry for that. Telling you this violates so many of the orders I was given. But it was the right thing to do. I can feel that. You have no idea what a relief that is. Thank you for trusting me. You have my attention. Ah, yes, we are done.
If you want help, I'm here. I received a Oh, damn. I was starting to enjoy the conversation.
Locked in and ready for liftoff. You've arrived.
Good. Out we go.
I'll meet you inside the facility.
can't believe it.
Major Sanan, Dr. Walker.
You're in better shape than I expected, Kaiser. Shouldn't take us long to get you back up to full fighting capacity.
This is good to hear. I was told there was a new threat on the horizon. I wish to learn more.
Percival will give you the full story.
Plus, get you dressed for the occasion.
Occasion? Where are we going?
Londinian.
Londinian. Doctor, I will require additional armaments.
That's the plan. Come on.
Captain, you're with me. Time to walk you through what we came up with. So the problem we're up against is vast. Terramorphs, meaning us finding and disposing of them ourselves isn't an option. But what if we could let something else do the work for us? Come on, I'll walk you through what we're thinking.